Good morning!
Sound of our teen sports listeners, I'm your host, Erica, the queen of teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday,
9 a.m.
Welcome, Teen Sports Radio listens. Oh, listeners, you're here. Look at who we have in the house. Holy cow, we are full, and I love being full. So we got Dominique, we got Barbara Dew, we got Alex Ramirez, we've got Anthony Rodriguez. I know that Ryan Quirk is trying to step in, so we'll get to him. We've got Sky is waving, but he's on mute, so it's just going to be one of those things, okay? I mean, we're just going to have to wave when they want to talk, and that works. So let's start off with Barbara. Barbara, we had a great week last week. Funny thing is, everybody knows how I love the next door, right? So do the next door, and I just put out to the universe, hey, one of our co-hosts, Teen Sports Radio, is offering this killer deal. International cinematographer, photographer, also came in third in at the film festival here in Santa Barbara a few weeks ago. Very blessed and excited. She's going to offer half off. So somebody told somebody, I get a phone call from Virginia. No lie. Okay. Susan Turner. Well, she was actually sister of Brenda Barrows, who used to be a teacher at Santa Barbara way back in the day. Her husband was a really good friend of mine. Well, her granddaughter was coming to Santa Barbara. First time they were from Nebraska. And then I ended up hooking up with her friend that was coming, and he wanted to propose to her on Butterfly Beach. Okay. How wonderful. What is that about? So of course I hooked right away here. I talked to Barbara, work it out, blah, blah, blah. Barbara, take it from there.
Yeah. So I met this beautiful couple, only 20 years old, and I took pictures of their proposal. And I was amazed about how clear they were on what they wanted. And we had a great time on the beach. And actually on the side of that, I wanted to link another story to it. So I always come earlier to scout the place and look up the light. And I had all my gears out. And there is this man with his son on the beach. And he's asking me, oh, could you take pictures of us? And I say, sure, no problem. Like, I take pictures of you. And he asked me, oh, so how can I have the picture? I say, well, we'll have to have an exchange. Like, he said, yeah, no problem. I pay you and no problem. And we had this deal out of nowhere. And the reason I wanted to tell this story is like, teenagers, do what you love. Because I was in my element and doing the stuff I love, people come to you, right. And it's when magic happens. So, and actually, maybe many people know this person because he has a tree service in town. It's called Nick Tree Service. And so
plug out to Nick Tree Service, Barbara Dew, giving back that love in exchange.
Exactly. So this is how magic happened.
Yeah, it's just what a beautiful couple too. I saw some of the pictures. We're friends. I'm going to adopt this couple. I actually let them stay. So funny. Not that they didn't love where they were staying. They love where they were staying, but I don't know. I just opened up the house. It was the week my Dominique's youngest son was getting married. So honestly, we get impacted. Dominique has 5 kids. I don't know who's coming, who's going, whatever. So we had the last couple of nights they ended up staying here. It was magical. Okay. It's kind of cool having that energy in the house, 1920, and you're going to want to get married. It's like, I didn't tell him the story about how I raised my children because I got married at 21. So I get it. But I was like, you get married in your 20s. I'm not going. Yeah. I didn't tell him that, but my kids are 33 and 30 now, so we passed it. It's all good, but hey, you could see it. The vibration was there. Beautiful couple. And I got to say, you have one picture, I know you know what it is, where they're walking into the sunlight, the sunset. I'm sorry, not light, sunset. And there is this not eagle. What do you call it? Seagull that flew in the back, and it was like, I would say, a good chunk of the picture, and it was magical. I don't know how you did that. Did you let it out of a cage? How'd that happen?
Nature is always on my side.
Oh, I know. She brings her seagulls. She brings all of her props, to have the magical moments. No, that was really pretty. I'm like, oh my God. So yeah, I stole that picture. And I just thought that was really kind of cool. So yeah, good job, Barbara. I love how the universe works. Okay, so we're going to flip it over here. We've got Anthony Rodriguez. Anthony, I don't want to put like a downer on it, but you know where we want to go with this. So it is heading up. Kids are graduating. We've got summer coming up, and I always like to open up the awareness to people and family and friends and connections and talk to me.
Yeah, no, absolutely. These times should be good times, and we should be making a lot of good memories during, summer's coming up. You have the kids graduating, and ready to enjoy the sun and all kinds of wonderful things. But, with that, sometimes we become a little bit careless on how we do things and what we do for ourselves. And that's one thing I wanted to bring up, is about making sure that we take care of each other, we look out for each other, and we have to look out for ourselves. And we have to be responsible when we're going out and having a good time. So if anybody sees anybody drinking, take away their keys, even though they shouldn't be drinking, right? But make those responsible choices and decisions so you can enjoy your life and be here to be free and get to do what you want to do. Don't cut your life short due to either having somebody tell you to go faster, or, when you're driving, or packing in a car when there's not enough seat belts. Because all in all, these beautiful times can turn into tragedy if we're not aware of what we're doing and how we're doing things. And, families hurt, friends hurt. And that's not the kind of memories that you guys want to have, especially during a time that everybody should be very happy and graduating and going to all these parties. Enjoy that time and think about what you should do and what you can do to prevent, mishaps, accidents, and especially right now. Make sure when you as kids, when you go out, make sure your cup is always with you. Don't leave your cup unattended. If somebody brings you a drink, make sure that it's a closed drink, a sealed drink. If they don't have anything like that, then go and get your drink yourself, so you know that nothing has been put in your drink, because you just don't know what somebody can do. They might be doing it for fun, but that could cause a death. And so when you're going out with friends, don't leave friends by themselves, and just always be aware of your surroundings, because life is too short, and we have to learn how to live it to the best of our ability. And if we don't keep our eyes open and our ears open, then sometimes we make those wrong decisions, or we miss things that we could have caught. And so just remember, kids, this is your life. You have a beautiful life ahead of you, whether it might be tough at this time, but if it's tough at this time, just know that you're not alone. Talk to somebody. If you're hurting, just somebody you trust, and always make sure that you're taking care of yourself. Self-care. Walk away if you need to walk away. If you need to go out to the beach and scream, scream. But just know that whatever your feelings are, they're valid, and you matter. No matter what, you matter. And just always try to look forward, even though sometimes you feel that you can't. But I promise you, this life is worth the fight.
Thank you, Anthony. I mean, you're amazing. You've done so much for this community. If somebody wants to reach out and give you a holler, what's the best way to do that?
You guys call me 24/7 at 805-331-4136. And I'm happy to support in any way that I can.
Thank you so much, Anthony. Hey, let's take a little break. All right, fill up your coffee or tea. We'll be right back with more after these messages.
We are back, and this is Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday,
9 a.m.
Welcome back, Teen Sports Radio's fans. This is Ryan Quirk here with another self-mastery story. And as a young student athlete, I'm now in college. In fact, I'll be turning 21 in 8 days. 8 days. I want to talk about a lesson that I've learned in my life, which is the art of not trying. And now that seems like a really interesting idea because all your teachers and your parents and everyone tells you got to try hard in school, try hard on the field, try. And now I'm not saying that you shouldn't put your best self forward. However, sometimes when that instruction is given to really try to do something, that can actually create a lot of tension. And I recently read this most amazing sports psychology book. I really think everyone should read it. I think I've mentioned it in one of the previous stories that I've told, The Inner Game of Tennis by Timothy Galway, where he basically says that the key to peak performance, whether you're an artist, you're a musician, you're an athlete, you're a student, is the power of relaxed concentration. The power of relaxed concentration, the state where your egoic mind, that chatterbox mind that's trying to overthink and analyze and stress about everything and is attaching to outcomes, is out of the way. It's calm, it's silent. And I want to share an example about how this has kind of come into play in my own life, which is as a young person who's a college student and also trying to provide for myself here in California. Recently, I was looking for a job, and for a few months, I had kind of applied to local coffee shops and restaurants and just any little side gig I could do to work part-time while in school because I wasn't looking for a full-time job because I'm also a student and working on creative projects and now a published author. And so I was just looking for a little something on the side, and I was really trying hard at these interviews. I was coming with the perfect typed out resume. I was trying to speak so professionally that I would sometimes trip over my own words. I was really putting a lot of effort forward, but it was almost a type of resistance. It was kind of straining. It wasn't authentic, free flowing, and natural. And after months of trying, I eventually, in some degree or another, gave up. And I don't want to say I gave up in a negative sense. What I really did was I let go of my inner resistance. Instead of being so anxious about the outcome of getting the job or worrying about what the interviewer is thinking of me or anything like that, I just kind of let those ideas go to the side. I let my mind, my body, my entire being just calm down. And funny enough is right after that happened, maybe a week later, I get a text from a friend who I play hockey with, and he says, "Hey, I know a guy who's hiring." You know, I go to this place, and it's a job that I hadn't even thought about applying for because it was a place that is much nicer than all the other places I applied for. And in the interview, I just relaxed. You know, I was actually kind of sick and tired of like all the other interviewing questions and everything like that I had done in the past few months, that I was just completely myself. I was making a few jokes with the interviewer. I was just being authentic. I just expressed why I might want to work there. Very, very simple, in and out. And I ended up getting the job that was higher pay in a better place with better benefits when I stopped trying to force outcomes in my life. Now, this doesn't mean that you shouldn't put your best foot forward, whether it's a job interview, a sports performance, whatever it is, but sometimes your mind gets in your own way. You're so eager to try so hard that you actually become tense. You know, one of the best ways that we can study if you're a student and you're in school and you're learning is actually to relax, to focus on your breath. And so that when the teacher is talking, you're not trying so hard to memorize every little detail, but you're trusting yourself, you're trusting your body, you're trusting your mind that you're going to retain the information. You know, a lot of times you'll ask athletes, you know, a pitcher who's going to throw a perfect game or a batter who's just been, you know, hitting home runs, or a basketball player, football player, whatever it is, what is the commonality between your best games? And they say it's as if their body is moving itself. They say that they get right into that flow state of peak performance where they're not worried about the outcome. They're not thinking about the fans and the stands and the crowd and everything like that. They're just completely and utterly present. They are relaxed. Their mind is calm. And, you know, a lot of times when we think of the word surrender, we think of a kind of a passive state. Oh, you're backing down. You're not being strong. You're not being tough. But for those of you listening out there, especially if you're a student athlete, surrender can be such a beautiful thing in your life, which is if you've been really stressing about something or worrying about something, try surrendering a bit of that stress, not trying to figure everything out, but surrendering it, letting it go, calming down your mind, focusing on your breath, and watch what happens. I feel like it's not taught enough that relaxation is one of the highest states we can be in for peak performance. You know, I've had times where I'm playing hockey where I'm skating full speed down the ice. I'm trying to shoot the puck as hard as I can, but mentally I'm relaxed. My body is doing all these complex movements through muscle memory and hours of practice and everything, but I'm relaxed inwardly.
Wow. That was a lot to take in. That's it. You know what we got to do? We got to take in a break. But will you be here next week?
I will be here next week.
Woo! All right. Ryan Quirk in the house. Check out Amazon. He's all over the place. God bless. We are back, and this is Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
Every single Tuesday.
9 a.m.
Welcome back to Teen Sports Radio, everyone. This is Sky Ellsworth, and I am a student at Life Chiropractic College West. And today we're going to be talking about Stage 7. So for the past, 7 weeks now, we've been working through the 12 stages of healing as created by Epienergetics and Donnie Epstein. And today, Stage 7 is all about resolution. We've done a lot of work building up to this. Please go back and listen to the other SoundCloud recordings of Teen Sports Radio and listen to the other stages. It's really important to listen to these in order to really build up a foundation to be where we are now. Stage 7 in resolution, in order to get to a resolution, we had to have a significant buildup of energy with an efficient place to go. In the season of Discover, in the first few stages, we talked about really kind of establishing a connection with certain areas of our body that weren't necessarily connected before. We created connection. We started to recognize the polarities and the rhythms. We started to recognize and really feel into those times when we just feel really stuck. We talked about taking that stuckness and turning it into a little more energy where we say, enough of this, we're done. Then we took that and we said a little bit more energy, and we can say, these are the parts of myself I want to keep. These are the parts of myself that I want to get rid of. We're going to merge past the illusion and see ourselves for who we really, truly are. And then with a little bit more energy, as much energy is built up, and we said, now we're going to hold on to that energy. We're going to retain it because we're ready for so much more. And now it's time to take all of that energy and let it resolve. What does it mean to resolve energy? In a resolution of energy, there's actually a discharge of that energy in a way that's efficient for your body. This can mean an emotional expression, crying, laughter. This can mean coughing, sneezing. Personally, when I go through this stage, I start to get a lot of respiratory stuff. I get a lot of mucus. It feels almost like I have a cold, but it's not a cold. It's just my body clearing stuff out of my system, clearing out patterns that have been there for a really, really long time. And sneezing, discharge, mucus, that's one of the many ways the body uses to get rid of stuff, to expel stuff. Even if that stuff has been in your body for years and years and years, even if that stuff in your body is coming from a pattern that's been there since maybe even before you were born in utero, right? It can go back that far. It could be generational that came in genetically. And this is information that your system is now ready to move through and discharge so that you can become a more efficient and more soulful, true, authentic version of who you were always meant to be. Stripping aside the illusion and getting to that core of this is the soul of who I am and who I've always meant to become. So with all of these stages, we've gone through different exercises. In the last exercise with stage 6, we really talked about taking that energy, tightening our core up, bringing that energy in and holding on to it. Now it's time to take that energy and we're going to discharge it. Now the breathing pattern is going to shift. When we were building energy, we were going nose, nose, or mouth, mouth, meaning in through the nose, out through the nose, in through the mouth, out through the mouth, because we were cultivating energy, cultivating fire.
And
now that
we were doing it rapidly too.
Very rapidly, yeah, fire breathing. Now we're at that point where we want to discharge energy. That means we're going to be coming in through the nose and out through the mouth. And sometimes, and this is personal preference, you can also come in through the mouth and out through the nose when it's a pattern that you want to hold on to. So it's really important to understand what these different types of breathing actually do for your system. When you're trying to release something, you go in through the mouth, you go in through the nose and out through the mouth. That gets rid of and dissipates tension, old patterns, stuckness, whatever it is in your body, it gets it out. Then you have the breathing that cultivates energy, that cultivates stamina. And that's the energy of in the nose, out the nose, or in the mouth and out the mouth. And it's quicker. It's a faster pattern. When we want to hold on to stuff, we let out the air or energy more slowly. We come in through the nose and out through the nose. When you breathe out through the nose, it's a slower exhalation than out through the mouth. This creates the energy of retention, of holding on to things. And this is not, I don't mean holding on to things like old patterns. We've already gotten rid of that. Now we've cultivated energy, we've held that energy in, and now we want to hold on to that energy. So this is more efficient to probably come in through the mouth and out through the nose, but you could do it either way, depending on how you want to dispel energy. Maybe you're at a point where there's a really strong emotion that's ready for release, and it's something that you want to go in through the nose and out through the mouth because you want to help your body facilitate that release. So the exercise for this, when we're talking about really resolving that energy and coming to that place where we're sitting with this new version of ourselves that is ready to merge into who we always were, that true authenticity, we're going to adopt the same position that we did for stage 6. In stage 6, we were lying on our back. We had our legs crossed over each other because we were really tensing our body up and really cultivating that energy up our core through the center of our body. And then we allowed ourselves to kind of relax, just sit with that energy vibrating and pulsing within our core. Now we're going to release that tension in stage 7. So our legs are no longer going to be crossed, and we're just going to be lying back with our hands open and breathing in through the mouth and out through the nose, or the other pattern that we talked about, depending on what it is that you're looking to resolve. And you're going to allow yourself to just sit with that. So literally, you're just lying there. This is one of the easiest ones to do. The only thing that's different is that breathing pattern. And you're just going to sit with the energy that you've cultivated and allow it to discharge the way that it wants to. And again, as you're just sitting there feeling that energy, you're going to feel your body relax into it with the breathing. And there will be a release. It may be laughter, it may be crying, it could be yelling, it could be screaming. I heard that once in a chiropractic office. It was kind of bone chilling, but you never know. But whatever comes up, you just want to let it out. And this is
what do you do with your arms, Sky? Do you put them out, down by your sides, over your head? Does it matter?
It's a good question. It doesn't really matter. Whatever feels right to you. I usually do it at my sides, but sometimes it's really nice. And some of the other exercises we had our hands on a particular position that we identified in our body as being something that was a little bit disconnected. And we kind of moved that area through the stages. So you can also bring your hands over that area and then just kind of feel the energy that's gathered there and just kind of relax into it, allow it to release. And what I kind of like to do is after I have my hands there and I feel that energy release, I let my arms just kind of fold out, open to the side, just kind of in that position of just receiving and relaxing, just kind of collapsing into the moment.
Wow. Then it's time for jacuzzi.
There you go.
Or infrared, or shower, or go out dancing. You let it out, baby.
Yeah, let it out.
Put out some music. That's awesome. So that's stage 7. What's next week?
Next week will be, what did we just say? That was stage 7. Next week will be stage 8. Stage 8, we're going to start to take the resolution of energy and we're going to start to move it into the soul intelligence. This is the season of awaken. This is where things are going to start to get a little bit more spiritual, and we're going to start to have realizations, epiphanies. We're going to learn how to really tap into our intuition and learn how to be guided.
Beautiful. How do we get a hold of you, Richard?
You can email me at thrivehivechiropractic@gmail.com.
Fantastic. And I'm looking so forward to next week. Thank you. Say hello to Sonia.
Good luck on your exams.
Good luck on your exams. We adore you.
Thank you. Thank you.
We are back, and this is Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday,
9 a.m.
Hey, Teen Sports Radio listeners. I'm Alex, your personal trainer and health coach. with Fit for Life 805. And so today I'm talking about, is it worth it for teens to get a personal trainer? And it's almost as if I'm validating my own profession here with talking about this. But I do believe that if you are a teen athlete and you're looking to excel in your sport, and you want to get stronger, you want to get better, and you've never lifted weights before, you don't have any experience training, then yes, I think it is absolutely worth it to get a trainer to show you the basics, the mechanics, how to do a push-up, how to do a squat, how to bench press, how to squat with weight, because that's a big one. And especially lunging and hinging, all the good stuff, core. So yeah, it's absolutely worth it if you're a beginner and a teen and you're looking to get better, because you just never know if you're doing something incorrectly. And with the spine being so young, you're inexperienced with controlling your body, there is a little bit of a safety issue. So I think in that regard, safety, learning how to control your body, getting the mechanics in so that you're working a little smarter and not so hard, because you don't want to get hurt getting stronger. That's the last thing you want, because that'll dissuade you from pursuing any kind of resistance training in the future. So I do think parents, it's worth it to invest in your child's fitness as far as exercise, because you're teaching them something. Actually, this is going to go beyond, high school. This will actually teach them something in their adulthood, which will be good. And that's investing in your own health, right? And that's something that people don't really do, is they'll put their own health to the back burner and take care of others, and they'll do it and run themselves to the ground. So I do think parents investing in your child is huge, so that you teach them how to do that. And Erica, you're a prime example of that. You invested with your boys training with us at Superior. So, you're a prime example of what it takes to, because it's the parents. The parents, if the kid wants it, the parents should be behind them 100%. And you were a perfect support for your boys, and that's why they did so well.
Well, when anytime they came home, it was like, Alex said, Dustin said, Alex said, doesn't matter what I say. Okay. And, they were doing tire flips at 6:00 in the morning up at Via Chaparral, the hill of no return. So, and I was there drinking coffee, freezing my butt off in November. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I was that committed mom, but at the end of the day, they're 30 and 33 right now. The day does not go by without them working out.
Yeah.
So I thank you for that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my gosh,
they work out every single day. They both belong, where my youngest, like, he has a home gym, not a home gym. He has a gym where he lives, but JoJo belongs to a gym. He also has a home gym that they use that, and they have been trained that's where they go to dump. Some people write, some people sing. I mean, they dump there. And I just think it's just for longevity and everything, and be able to, it's a coping tool. So I thank you. And I mean that I mean that from the bottom of my heart. So yeah, I'm all in.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're welcome. It's absolutely. Go ahead.
It's really good for teens to consider this before you have an injury. But if you do have an injury, especially if you have an injury, and I'm realizing that when I was 14 and I turned my ankles, and then I had to reconsider my participation in ballet, that's the point where I probably should have gone to talk to a trainer, and I should have worked on the muscles that I had not properly balanced out, even though ballet is, oh my gosh, it's such a cross training, fantastic thing to do. But still, obviously, I was lacking in either spatial awareness, or there's something lacking there that I could have benefited from a trainer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
one thing I want to tell kids, though, it depends what sport you're in and everything, but John will say upon reflection, and this isn't Superior Fitness because you didn't do this to him, but they did when he played 1 year of football at Bishop, is he did a lot of squats with heavy weight. And he said, if you had to live his size, he's got a huge hand, size 14 feet. And I'm not saying he would have been 6'3", okay? He's like 6'1", but he said, I wouldn't have done anything to compress my spine, ever. I would have done lengthening. I would have hung. I would have done things to stretch myself, not to squish myself. And I don't know if that triggers in your DNA, whatever, compress. I'm not saying I am no doctor. I'm just saying this is upon his reflection that he just would never have done that. And again, we needed to do that, Superior, but he definitely did that playing football. They wanted the leg strength. They wanted all that, but I don't know. We got a minute left. What do you think?
What's your thoughts?
I think as a young developing athlete getting into training, you don't want to get into heavy weights. I would say getting better with single leg stuff, unilateral work. Bulgarian lunges are actually like the big new thing that are replacing squats. You can do single leg squats with just your body weight. So all your body weight on one leg. That's nothing on your spine.
Right.
That's actually what I do. I don't do any heavy back squats. I've never done it. Because of the spine thing. I'm worried about it. Exactly. I don't want to slip disc or anything. So.
Exactly. Because you don't know what you're going to do like in your 40s and 50s. And that's what I try to say. But listen, you're amazing. We're looking forward to your topic next week. We got to take a break. Fill up your coffee. We'll be right back after these messages.
We are back. And this is Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday,
9 a.m.
There, Teen Sports Radio family. It's Dominique Hackett here from Santa Barbara Wellness Center. We're going to talk a little bit about nature, art, and your brain gains. All right. Today, I'm bringing you a message straight from your mitochondria. Yep, we're going deep. Let's talk about something that doesn't get enough love in the sports world. Art. Yep, A-R-T. And no, I'm not saying you need to paint a portrait of your ALC or write a love song to your triceps, although I would really 100% listen to that track. But here's what you do need to know. Your brain is hardwired to respond to beauty. And beauty isn't just a feel-good bonus. It's actually brain fuel. Beauty is brain fuel. Okay. So when you're looking at something beautiful, like a colorful painting, or you're standing in a forest full of redwoods, and you have that sensation of soaring redwoods, or you're looking at a perfectly symmetrical plate of nachos, your orbital frontal cortex lights up. That's your brain's beauty center. And that moment, it's doing way more for you than you realize. It's lowering your stress. It's helping your body heal. It's boosting your focus and motivation. And that orbital frontal cortex, it lights up before you even think about something being beautiful. And it does that in everyone. We all recognize beauty naturally. We're just wired for it. So here's where it gets wild. The same golden ratio that shows up in a sunflower spiral, when you look at the sunflower and you see how the seeds go, it's in a spiral. You look at seashells. You look at the galaxy arms that show up when you're looking out at the Milky Way. Though that spiral, that shows up in your DNA. Yep. Your actual biology is designed with that sacred symmetry. And when you spend time looking at things that reflect that design, like art and nature, you bring your brain back into balance. That's what happens. So if you have a sports injury, listen up. The fastest recovery isn't just about physical therapy. It's also about mental therapy. You need restorative beauty. You need peace. You need a tree. So here's my prescription. 1 sunset stare per day, or sunrise if you get up nice and early. Yeah. How about 15 minutes of non-judgy doodling? Yes, you doodling on your paper is art. A playlist of music that makes you feel like you're the main character. And yes, go full zen and lie in the grass and just watch the clouds if that's what it takes. So beauty isn't extra. It's essential. It rewires your brain for focus, calm, and better performance on the field and in the classroom. So here's your team talk action list for the week. Number 1, Do a beauty scan every day. Look for one thing that's beautiful. Art, a flower, a color combo in your cereal, whatever. Just pause and notice it. Number 2, create something for no reason. Draw, write, snap a photo. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be yours. Creativity strengthens your brain's problem-solving muscle. Number 3, get outside daily. You don't need a fancy trail. Your backyard, a park bench, your school's garden, that all counts. Nature equals nervous system recovery, especially after practices or tough classes. Number 4, practice brain cross-training. Mix art and movement. Dance, do yoga to music, or just stretch while listening to something beautiful. It builds neuro flexibility, key for smarter decisions under pressure. Number 5, rest with intention. That means not just zoning out to TikTok for 2 hours. Sorry, not sorry. Try a 20-minute walk. Listen to chill music. Journal while watching the clouds float by. Real rest is what helps your brain reset and rebuild. Because when your brain is aligned, your focus is sharper. Your schoolwork gets clearer, your recovery is faster, and your game, it elevates. So remember this, beauty is one of your superpowers. It's free. It's everywhere. It's built into your biology. So take care of your brain like you take care of your kicks. Clean it, stretch it, give it some style, and let it breathe. And next time, you got this. And okay, before we go, fun fact. Mitochondria, yep, it's a noun. It's that tiny bean-shaped thing in your body cells that your science teacher swears is important. It's also known as the powerhouse of the cell, which sounds cool. And it's basically a sweaty little gym rat inside of you, turning snacks into energy. So you can sprint, study, stress, scroll TikTok. Yeah, it's like your cell's personal trainer, DJ, and a caffeine drip all in one. So respect the mitochondria. Give it a little beauty. From Dominique Hackett and Santa Barbara Wellness Center.
Nice. Dominique, you always wow me. I love all the tips and tools that you're giving the kids. Thank you. Thank you, Santa Barbara Wellness, for adding, such a great energetic vibration. I know Alex has got his hand up. He wants to add. What's up, Alex? What do you think?
Yeah, I think for me, as I've been hurt, Dominique, you really spoke to me because that artsy kind of colorful, seeing the beauty and everything, the injury has made me feel like that, where nothing really gets me upset anymore because I'm so grateful for walking and being able to move. And when I get outdoors, I'm really, really like honing in on the colors and what I'm seeing, the birds chirping, it's just, the gratitude has gone through the roof. And now I see like the beauty in everything. And so it's kind of cool, but for teens, I don't know. It's kind of hard because you got so many emotions and hormones and school and girls and boys and drama. It's you gotta just take a moment to yourself whenever you can and maybe just go check a sunset, because I think so. The Santa Barbara sunsets are where it's at. They're beautiful, so you can't miss those. Go check one of those out.
Nice. Thank you, Alex. Again, you're another just total value add for Teen Sports Radio. Fit for Life 805. How do we get a hold of you, Alex?
Yeah, you can text me 805-896-7514.
All right. Hey, so that's a wrap today for Teen Talk with Dominique and all of the co-hosts that showed up today. Thank you so much for bringing good vibes and real talk today. And thank you for hanging in with us for the last 15 years. Many, many, many of you have. Thank you. We're right here on KZSB AM 1290, the station that talks about Santa Barbara and all the platforms out there available. I checked out last week, over 700 people just in France. I'm going to give Barbara Dew credit for all of that. Barbara, you must have a huge connection in France, okay? Because
I guess
we're blowing it up in France. Okay.
Wow.
So,
I didn't know about that. Well done.
Yeah, it's all you, baby. So hang it out until next time. We love you. Hug it out. See you next week.